Hello, Wisconsin, Wisconsin, Wisconsin.
Tonight, nearly 2 weeks after President Biden's disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump, the presidential race still remarkably stable.
I am running and going to win again.
New national polling shows President Biden still trailing former President Trump, but his debate performance only costing him a point or two. In the battlegrounds, Biden actually making up ground, pulling 1 point closer to Trump after their primetime clash, but still running behind.
The question every voter should be asking themselves today is not whether Joe Biden can survive a 90-minute debate performance, but whether America can survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden in the White House.
In our polarized, deeply divided country, even seismic political events like the debate or Donald Trump's conviction really haven't moved polls all that much more than 1 or 2 points.
Despite Biden's insistence that he's staying in the race, Democratic voters divided about the best path forward.
I love Joe Biden. I think he's done a great job. However, I think that now's the time for Joe Biden to be the statesman, step down, be the advisor to the candidate.
If he felt that he needed to step down, that he would come forth and say that. But when he says he's in and he's running, I believe him, and I believe he's going to do a good job.
There is no other alternative, so I'm going to be supporting Joe Biden all the way.
Let's go get him, North Carolina.
Biden's decision about whether to stay in the race influencing one of the other big choices of the 2024 campaign.
Thank you very much.
Who will join his opponent, Donald Trump, on the Republican ticket? Trump telling Sean Hannity of Fox News no final decision has been made, but Biden leaving the race could sway him.
We wanted to see what they're doing, to be honest, because, it might make a difference.
NBC News reporting Trump has narrowed his search to 3 finalists, Senators J.D. Vance of Ohio and Marco Rubio of Florida, along with North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
A potential Trump running mate.
Vance appearing on Meet the Press Sunday, telling Kristen Welker he hasn't been asked to join a ticket yet.
I have to ask you about Veep stakes. Of course, have you gotten the call from Donald Trump? Has he asked you to be his running mate?
I have not gotten the call, Kristen.
2 campaigns at a crossroads as November closes in.
All right, Dasha Byrne joins us tonight from Doral in the great area of South Florida, where former President Trump is holding a rally tonight. Dasha, we know the RNC is coming up in less than a week, right? We're going to be watching that rally. I know you have your ear to every single speaker there. But what else does the former president have on his calendar where he may make an announcement about his running mate?
So look, tonight is a possibility. Tom, he even sent out a fundraising email teasing that he could possibly announce as soon as today. But then he has another rally on Saturday in Pennsylvania, another battleground state, where that could also be an opportunity to rally with a possible running mate. And then there is the convention that starts on Monday. So sometime either leading up to the convention or at the convention is when we will finally learn who his running mate will be. We've been reading the tea leaves. We have those top 3 contenders. But again, as we've said all along, it's the former president. He loves a competition reality show, and that's a little bit what he's been doing with this VP pick, Tom.
All right, Dasha Burns there, a mix of Pavarotti and James Brown behind you. I do want to ask you, if it goes to the RNC, do we know what day it could happen?
By the way, the playlists here are always very eclectic. If it goes to the RNC, Tom, what we do know is that a VP speech is likely to happen on Wednesday. And so theoretically, we would have to know before then, unless he decides to really pull a reality show moment and just have that person walk out onto the stage. He has said, including last night on an interview with Fox News' Sean Hannity, that he wants to announce either a little bit before or during the convention. So here we wait to find out the who and the when, Tom.
And then finally, I know you're down there in South Florida. Senator Marco Rubio, who's on that VP shortlist, is going to be speaking at the rally as well. He's one of the guests of honor, if you will. But it's interesting, right? Because recently, Donald Trump Jr. took some shots on his podcast at Senator Rubio, saying essentially he was too establishment, that he was a rhino. What do we think about Trump world attacking Senator Rubio just before, former President Trump makes this big decision?
Well, So Don Jr. is one faction in Trump world, of course, an important one given he's family. He is a big Senator J.D. Vance supporter. They have a very strong relationship. He's been pushing for Vance this entire time. And so his attacks on Rubio, could potentially be damaging. But at the same time, that's kind of been an ongoing conversation. You have another faction within his campaign that is heavily Florida-based. His campaign manager, Susie Wiles, some others on his staff are longtime Florida operatives who have a strong relationship with Senator Marco Rubio. And, of course, Governor Doug Burgum is viewed by a lot of people as sort of the safe choice that won't outshine former President Trump. So every day that I talk to sources, there's someone else that's the new front runner. And at the end of the day, it's going to be former President Trump. But you'll notice things like Don Jr. People are trying to be the last voice in his ear before he makes this announcement, Tom.
All right, Dasha Burns reporting from that Trump rally in Doral. Dasha, we appreciate all your reporting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.